All right. Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Truly Live with your co hosts, Oliver and Yolanda Blue. And we are excited about tonight's episode. So sit back and relax. We'll be right back.
What's the deal with all this drama? Like you supposed to be my mama. And you supposed to be my sister. And you supposed to be my brother. Loving one another, I thought, but nowadays I'm caught deep in thought. Cause saints don't act like they ought. Take me back, Lord, to the first. When family reunion was on Sunday at the church. Cause things seem strange instead of familiar. Instead of edifying, saints want to kill you. See you dying, and I'm crying out for those who knows how the spirit of God flows. With love, agape, and I pray that we will unite and form a holy posse and do this thing for the newborn king, giving hope to the meek through the door he brings.
Good deal. Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real when we are holding up? Jesus Christ comes for the Bible tells us so. What's the deal? Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real? Let's put our faith to work and show this world the church. Yeah.
Just get along, maybe not in the world cause it's wicked and wrong, but in Christ we have life, so let's live it. Freely we've been given it, so freely let's give it. A shock this nation, while they behold the peace in the midst of our congregation. All in together now, singing, bringing hope, got the devil on the rope, tag teaming, steaming with the spirit that be burning our bones, praying that he never ever leaves us alone. So stop sinning, stop tripping, put on the whole armor of God and get thoroughly equipped and flip the script and renew, stay true, cause under the clear blue there ain't nothing new. Word doers do. How's about you on the real? Tell me what's the deal?
What's the deal? Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real when we are holding up? Jesus Christ loves us, for the Bible tells us so. What's the deal? Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real? Let's put our faith to work and show this world the church. Yeah.
So while you're out there wondering if God's gonna do what he's already doing, cause he already knew. One day you were gonna be his child, and one day you were gonna see these trials. So it's best to be safe and stay in God's race, not walking by sight, kid, but walking by faith. Not being stressed when the world try to press. Just keep in mind, yo, it's only a test. How do we look? Preaching the good book. When things start shaking, we the ones shook. When the heat start baking, we the ones cook. I never seen the righteous begging bread oversook. I'd rather be hot, mean, blind, lame, standing before God without blame, than having my whole body casting the hell's fire from following the world, seeking those evil desires. Nah.
Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real when we are holding up? Jesus Christ loves us, for the Bible tells us so. What's the deal? Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real? Let's put our faith to work and show this world the church. Yeah.
There's so many things that I want to thank you for. Lord, I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your mercy, God. I thank you for your love. Thank you for favor, oh God. God, if I had 10,000 tongues, I couldn't say enough thank yous, and I couldn't praise you enough. So in this song, I'll simply tell you I love you. And God, I thank you for everything you've done. Lord, there's so many things that you've done for me. Blessings unconditional, they seem to overtake me. Your hand of mercy proving faithful and true. Jesus, how can I express my thanks to you for your grace and kindness, oh, agent of days. I'll give you thanks, oh Lord, now and always. Oh, I just want to say thank you for your love. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Thanks to you for all of the times that you brought me through. Lord, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your grace. Thank you, Lord, for keeping me safe. Thanks to you that I can share the good news of a Savior, to give someone a reason just to tell you thanks. Oh Lord, yeah. Thank you, Lord. Lord, it's not enough to give a simple praise to the one who has blessed me in so many ways. Nothing I could say or do could really show my gratitude to you, Lord. One God, one love, one faith. To you I give you praise. Three blessed Trinity, you mean so much to me. You showered me with love, even when I turned away. Lord, I could never repay you, so I'll just say, I just want to say thank you for your love. Thank you for the blood. For all of the times that you brought me through. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your grace. Thank you, Lord, for keeping me safe. Thanks to you that I can share the good news of a Savior, to give someone a reason just to tell you for your love. Lord, I thank you for the blood. Thanks to you for all of the times that you brought me through. Lord, I thank you for your grace. Lord, for keeping me safe. And I can share the good news of a Savior, to give someone a reason just to tell you thanks. Oh, Lord, thank you.
All right. All right. I just want to say thank you. What a beautiful song. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Truly Live with your co-founders and co-host, Oliver and Yolanda Blue. And we are here to share transformation and a whole lot of love. And we just thank you for joining us tonight. And as you can see, we're broadcasting from not from our normal studio, but we're here and we're live, and that's all that matters. And did we get you on? Let's see if you're on. Okay, there you go. So we might have to make a few adjustments here as we have had to set up in a little different environment here. And you turn the thing off there. Let's get us back on here. There you go. All right. So thank you so much. And we're excited. Yolanda, you have exhaled yet?
I'm getting there.
Oh, she's getting there. And we have started our day early. And it has been a very, very busy day. But we are here and we are live. And we thank you for being here. And so you don't have access over there?
I do not.
Yes, you just need to connect to this internet in here.
Why can't I use my hotspot?
You can.
But it's not letting me do that.
It's not giving that option.
No.
We'll use the one in here. Go to where you select your internet and there you go. It came up when we came and connected to this Wi-Fi. You see it? Okay, there you go. Well, she's got it, ladies and gentlemen. She's got her hotspot. All right. Well, thank you for being here. We say welcome to all our patrons, all our friends, all our families. And we thank you for joining in with us tonight. It's going to be a great night. And we're going to conclude our series tonight. We spent the last 3 weeks. This is week 4, where we're going to finish this series on the subject of living a life of freedom. And we've shared so much in these past 3 weeks and want to leave majority of the time for questions that might have been sparked by the conversation that we've had the last 3 weeks concerning this subject for freedom. We shared a lot of information, and so we want to make sure that the viewers have the opportunity to get full clarity on anything that has been shared, because we want you to be free indeed. All right. And so we're going to, and if you're here for the first time and you're a first-time viewer, this is Truly Live, a weekly platform where Yolanda and I share this platform as an extension of our coaching practice. And here we share these universal principles and what we call transformational practices, timeless content, and what we give to all of you on these multiple platforms that we're on at sometimes. We give you community access with others who are committed to experiencing a deeper and more meaningful life. So this is all about you. This is all about your growth, your expansion. It's all about expanding your awareness. And so those that have strong desire for personal growth and getting different results in your life, you have landed in the right place, because that's our 2 primary goals for this broadcast. And so we'll also share our decade or decades, now we're in the 3 decades plus, of experience from our journey together as partners, as a married couple, as roommates. What else are we, baby?
Everything.
Lovers, friends, you name it, we're that. And so we share the experience that we have in our expression here on this show. And that includes, we've been married 32 years. Both Yolanda and I have been on a transformational journey for all 32 of those years. I don't think I'm the same person you married, do you?
Not completely.
I still got some residuals.
You got some residuals.
Okay, I'll buy that. But we have been on this transformational journey together by choice. And
I'm gonna be truthful.
yeah, and this, hey, it's truly
That's
the
right.
real you loves you, right?
That's what I'm gonna be.
And so we've been on this transformational journey for 32 years. We've raised 3 children to the adulthood. And now they're out on their own, doing their own thing, building their own life, having their own careers, paying their own bills. And they've even produced, our oldest has produced a beautiful grandson that we
Beautiful.
absolutely we just get grandma and grandpa, what do you call it? Brain
Ooh.
when it comes to that young fella.
Oh, a
And-
brief little video this week, and all he's doing is giggling and saying a few words, and I mean, it just, oh wow, it's just like an open heaven.
Everything stops.
Oh my goodness.
When John Brooks moves in our present, everything stops.
I got it bad. Y'all.
Yeah, she got it really bad. But what we think that is really thrilling about us is that we are a fun-loving, dance-loving couple, and that we lean into joy and laughter. There's a whole lot of joy and laughter in our days, aren't there?
Yes.
Yes. And we've leaned into that in the past to help us get through some of our challenging moments. And so with that, you want to share with the group our why we're here?
Yes, we want others to know that their life has deep meaning and good purpose. And we help people to consider the results that matter to them so that they live a focused life with purposed attention. Our passion is to help those who remain outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of a witness to the truth that is true always. We love sharing a powerful message with you.
A powerful people. Yes, you are. If you didn't know that, you'll, and it's your first time being with us, you will walk away at least with that nugget that you are a powerful, powerful individual. And so with that, we'd like to turn to some special acknowledgments tonight. First of all, we always like to acknowledge our patrons. You may ask, well, who's a patron? It's those that have partnered with us to help us and help us to create this content, to maintain this platform, and bring in information, inspiration, transformation, and empowerment that can help you to live your best life. And so we may talk a little bit about that later, how you may become a patron. Also like to acknowledge my mom, Mama Blue, and Yolanda's dad, who we call Papa. His name is Dewey. And we always like to acknowledge them, because without them, there may be a Truly Live, but it wouldn't look like this.
No, it would.
It wouldn't be this unique expression. So it is because of them that they made it possible for us to share this unique expression in the world. So hello, Mama. And Mom's always watching. I know she's out there. And Papa, that might be a question mark.
No, there's no question mark. He's not watching.
He's not watching.
There's no question mark.
Yeah.
He's not too excited about technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. If we try to explain to him what we're doing, does it make sense when you explain it to him?
He still puts the phone to his ear when we are on Zoom or FaceTime. So
So he don't really have an interest.
he really doesn't care.
Yes.
So, and it's okay.
Papa lives in his own world,
He does. He does.
Well,
and,
so-
and it's okay.
and that's okay. I mean, there's 8 billion people on the planet, and the majority of them live what? In their own world. So he has the right to make that choice too.
We want to say happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy anniversary. We're celebrating you for whatever it is that we're celebrating with you for whatever it is that you're celebrating from this week, from Sunday to Saturday of this week. So for those of you that had a birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
happy
you,
anniversary.
and happy
And we're celebrating
anniversary.
you. And if by chance you are experiencing a challenge in whatever form that is, know that we are holding a high vibrational field of and sending energy your way so that can be resolved, because there is nothing that you cannot get through.
Absolutely. And so also would like to acknowledge, I don't know if we spoke about it last episode, but the passing of the Queen.
Yes, we did.
We did speak of that last week, but you know, everyone if you're breathing, you probably heard something pertaining to all of the.
And so for all those people that affects, we
hold the space.
hold that space for them as well.
Yes.
And so that's for our Canadian friends, and
Yes.
our Indian friends, and for all of you,
All of our friends.
everyone,
Absolutely.
everyone that's affected.
Love has forgotten no one.
No one.
Love must be total. Love must be all inclusive. And that's the love that we share here on Truly Live. And now we'll turn for a minute. You want to acknowledge any of the
I see
patrons
that
out there?
Brenda
Yeah.
is on here.
Yes.
Hello, Brenda.
Well, hello, Brenda. And we say hello.
It's been a crazy day with us as well. We've been traveling, and just all kinds of things are going on. But we are happy and grateful to be in our destination safely,
Yes.
Safely. And we're happy and grateful that you're here with us as well.
Thank you so much. Yes. Knowing you are here, Brenda, just brightens up this whole experience.
We certainly had a wonderful time. We had a workshop last week, and we got to see some people. So we got to see Brenda and her mother, Virginia,
Yes.
along with the others that were participating.
Yes.
And it was really, really good to put a face with a name.
Yes.
So we
And
really enjoyed.
Yes. Wasn't it a wonderful workshop?
You know, I was part of that, part of the presentation of that workshop. And so I know the work that we had put into it. I also know the information that we shared, and it was a lot of information. We actually did like a 4-hour workshop. We were trying to do it in 2 hours. So we went over, and then we had a wonderful time of just fellowship, question and answer,
Yes.
and conversation afterwards. So yeah, it was a good workshop.
Yes, and we just thank everyone who attended, and we'll be having a future workshop, so stay tuned. And if you missed that one, there will be one coming your way.
Also want to say hello to Bob and Carol. I see that.
Hello, Bob. Hello, Carol.
And we are so glad that you all are on. Be looking for us. We're coming your way via mail here briefly.
Yes.
Here soon.
Yes. So, yes. Be on the lookout.
Be on the be aware.
Be aware.
Not beware, but be
aware. Yes. And so yeah, I mean, it's we did it. We made plans and we did it.
Well, no, we have not done it yet. We are just starting.
We're just at the beginning of a fun-filled weekend. And
hello, Sheila Johnson.
Hello,
we're
Sheila.
So glad you're on too.
Yes, you're never too late, Sheila.
Never.
What's the song? Never too late.
No, it's never too much, but that's okay.
Oh,
it's a Luther song. Don't mess up my Luther song. Don't
never too late.
Mess up
never
Luther.
Too late.
All right, y'all. He's getting ready to get in trouble.
Never too late. Never. Oh, that's Barry White, right?
You're talking about that's never gonna get enough.
Never gonna get enough.
There you go again. Okay. Well, I'm not.
That's Barry.
I'm not quite as upset about Barry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you need to stay here. You need to stay here.
I love Barry White.
I love it.
If you like Barry White, put in the chat yes. If you are an admirer of Barry White and his gift that he shared with the world, put yes in the chat. I know that at least 2 or 3 people out there that is aware and is just as touched by Barry White's music as I was. Yeah, baby. I don't know why I can't get enough of love, baby. Oh boy, yes.
All right. Bob and Carol said yes.
Yes, there you go. I know there's some more too.
Oh, Bob and Carol, you guys never cease to amaze us.
Hey, look, there's some of the most what's the word to use? Expansive.
Oh yes, they are
people. You guys have traveled the world, traveled the country. You've done so many different things.
She was okay. All right, so we're playing, and it's
okay.
It's okay.
We're gonna have to take a survey here.
Sheila said Barry's okay, but I'm a big Luther fan also. Girl, I did not miss him. Do you hear me?
Are we gonna have to take a survey here tonight?
I miss him now.
Barry White versus Luther Vandross. No, we're not going to take
No,
a
we're not gonna
survey
take a survey
because
they
together,
they
together,
each had their own
yes,
expression.
and together they
And
bless the world.
yes, they
Together
did.
they
Yes,
bless
they
the world.
did.
And
Yes, they
what a
did.
gift both of them
I
were.
think we were made,
And then
we made babies on
we
both.
made babies on both of them.
So it's, I probably should not have said
And
that,
and
but
do
oh
you,
well.
and do you know that this generation, when I say this generation, the millennials, and the
Gen Y.
Gen Ys,
Gen-
they love Luther and Barry also. In fact, they love a lot of the artists that we listened
That's
to
because
back
that
in the
was-
70s
that
and
was good
80s.
music.
They're listening to that now because it was
That was
good music. It
good
was
music.
clean music.
Good, clean, and you could understand what they were saying.
And you could understand what they were saying, you know. Can you imagine Luther and Barry? Ga-da-boo-ga-dee-ga-ba, boo-ga-dee-ga-dee-ga-ba.
No, neither one of them ever did.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, boy, get that one. I know you can't
Neither one of
imagine.
them.
That
Neither-
would be a waste of their voice. That would be that
No.
would be not fully using their voice because their voice is.
Even though Barry did a little bit of mumble, you know,
He did a little.
He did.
Yeah.
But anyway, at
yeah,
any
yeah.
rate.
All right, here we go. All right, just a little fun, just little levity. Hey, look, we needed this because we've been looking straight ahead for about 7-8 hours, and now we finally get to relax.
I don't know because my eyes were closed. I was
Most of the
sleeping
time,
since
yeah.
I didn't go to bed last night.
Yeah, yes, you were sleeping, and I didn't bother you.
No, you did.
Right.
No, you did.
And I told you I'd get you here safe.
You
didn't
did.
I told you leave the driving to me,
I had to because I was.
and you
exhausted.
trusted me because you went to sleep.
I did.
Yeah, a lot of
No.
people can't sleep when they're in a on a trip because they don't really trust the driver.
Well, it wasn't my deep trust in your drive.
How long?
It was my trust in the one that breathes you
Yes.
that was helping with
W-
that.
Well, we're partners. We're one. We're one and
Yeah.
the same.
Bob
so-
and Carol said yes for understanding the words. I know.
I know.
Because I have gotten in trouble for singing words that I don't know.
How long have I been piloting you around this nation? How long?
32 years.
You said you wanted to be factually accurate earlier. You wanted to only deal with the truth. So how long have you been sitting as a co-pilot when I am navigating you to different places? How long? How many years have I done that?
3 or 2. Did you get that?
How many decades? How many
3 and 2.
How many decades have I done that?
3.
You're not factually.
I said 3 decades. I
Okay,
said
and
3.
how many years?
I said when you asked
3,
me how
2?
many years, I said 3 and 2.
I just want to make sure you're not
I
saying
said
it was 5, but it's
3
32.
and 2.
Yes, I've been navigating this beautiful lady to many different places around this country for 32 years. Now, tell the people how many accidents I had with you in the car.
0.
Right.
How many near accidents?
0.
Too many to count.
0. I have a great driving track record, and she knows it. That's why she can sleep. I mean, snoring too.
Oh, okay. See. So let's talk about factual accuracy here.
I
Okay.
am. You were. You have to trust me on that because you were asleep.
See, you're taking advantage because I'm asleep. Wow.
Wow. All right. Now we got it going.
Oh boy.
You want to share what Linda said here?
Oh wow. Okay, let's see. Brenda said, "My husband is a great driver too. I wonder if I will ever drive again. Walkers don't go too fast."
Well, that's good to have. It's good to have one of those in the house, Brenda. Just like it's good to have a refrigerator that works. And we only say that because our refrigerator act like it's one of
I
what?
don't know. My dad is incredibly fast with his walker. I mean, I jog to keep up.
Yeah. I think we need to start looking up.
Oh,
We're
okay.
looking down here. We need to
Yes,
look up
we
where the
are.
camera is. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We got a little different setup tonight, so we're still trying to get acclimated to it. And so we're looking down at the screen on the
And
laptop.
I'm going to be looking down because I'm looking at the comments.
Right.
So
Well, the
yes.
camera's up here.
Yes,
All
I
right. We
see.
gotta remind each other that's where it is. Whew, thank you guys for allowing us.
So look up.
Yes. Thank you guys for allowing us and obliging us this moment, because we really needed to have this moment of laughter, this moment of what? Oh, Virginia's on.
Hi, Virginia.
Hello, Virginia.
Hello. So good to have you with us.
Man, we have our two most northernest friends with us tonight. And
Northernist.
yes.
Okay.
and Virginia has completed the circle. So we
Our
are
most northern friends.
most northern friends. So now we are complete
Yes.
because Mother Virginia is here. Hello, Virginia. We thank you for being here.
She too was with us on the during the workshop,
Yes,
and we had a we did have a good
absolutely,
time.
absolutely.
Gaiety is right, Bob and Carol.
What's, can you explain that one to me?
Fun.
Oh, okay. I thought it was giddy.
That's G-E-T-T.
Oh, okay. All right. Giddy up. Let's go. Let's giddy up to the next segment. So our next segment tonight, we're going to turn to what we always love to do, that is to encourage and inspire our viewers out there. And so we always reach out into the ether, into the universe, where there's been so much shared to inspire us and to encourage us. And tonight we're going to use a quote that is out of one of our most admired resources. Comes out of the spiritual book, A Course in Miracles, and it comes from the workbook lesson section of the book, workbook lesson 199, and it's in paragraph 1, sentences 1 through 4. You want to read it, or do you want me to?
I will read, but I'm gonna say hello to Dr. Jill first.
Dr. Jill's
Hi,
here.
Dr. Jill.
All
Yes, she was
right.
with us in the workshop as well. So glad you're with us.
You're talking about completing the circle,
Yeah.
and Dr. Jill shows up.
So tonight's encouragement, inspiration word is, quote, freedom must be impossible as long as you perceive a body as yourself. The body is a limit. Who would seek for freedom in a body looks for it where it cannot be found. The mind can be made free when it no longer sees itself as a body, firmly tied to it and sheltered by its presence. That's that quote is in the workbook section 199. That's chapter 1 and sentences 1 through 4.
All right. Thank you, dear. So tonight we're going to finish up again, like we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. We're going to finish up this series on freedom and living a life of freedom. It's one thing to know about it, to have mental assent about freedom, to think that it is possible. But it's another thing to actually experience and live a life of freedom. How can we embody the freedom that is a part of who we are, as we have explained in previous teachings? So do you want to share any of the recap, or we want to just talk from the finality of this subject tonight? We can share any of the previous points that we made if you want to do that. But I just want to say, freedom unexperienced is like it says, a desire that is not fulfilled, it makes the heart what?
Weak.
It makes the heart weak, or it makes the heart sick.
Long.
It makes the heart longs for something that it appears that it cannot have. And if you look out into our present world and you did an analysis on our present world in terms of the level of freedom that we observe, or that we experience, or that others experience, and if you had to give it a grade from 1 to 10, 10 being everyone is free, there's freedom everywhere, and then 1 being there's no freedom, then what would you just keep? You don't have to share, but how would you grade the freedom that you see, and include the freedom that you experience yourself? And we've also mentioned earlier that freedom is something that is not without, but freedom is something that is within, and we all been endowed with freedom that comes from God only. It all comes from the what we call that which is the source of all life. It is a part of life. It is an essential part or an aspect of life. Just like last week we said that love is an aspect of life. Joy and peace and happiness, these are all aspects of the one life that we all share. And so, and then last week we shared that uh, that gratitude and forgiveness. That one didn't print quite right. Yeah, that gratitude and forgiveness are two aspects of what real freedom is, and without either one, there's not a full experience of embodying what freedom is. And so tonight we want to again be more open to address any concerns or questions or any clarity or more clarity that you want to get on this subject of freedom. Let me say this. When I was 19 years old, 18, 19, 20, 21, if you looked at my external conditions and circumstances, you would say that Oliver is on the surface is what? Oliver on the surface is experienced a level of freedom in his life because there, if you measure freedom by what it looks like bodily or externally or in form, then there's always the appearance of freedom. But internally, I was not free.
Yes.
Internally, I was imprisoned by my own mind, imprisoned by my own wrong thinking, imprisoned by conditioning that I had embraced as my own. And because remember, when our self-image, and I think we talked about self-image a little bit, our self-image of ourselves comes from, many different influences. And one of those influences is the environment that we're born in, which many times we don't have control over that. But that environment is constantly feeding into us ideas concerning our identity, concerning our value, concerning, our purpose. And a lot of times the conditioning that we're getting is not based on facts or truth. It's not based on the truth of who we are. And so what happened, the experience that I had, and I might have been the only human being that had this experience.
You might have been, but
But
chances are you were not.
But I was really imprisoned in my inner self during those young adult years. And really, it was that desire to come to know myself. It was my desire to get rid of the anxiety, to get rid of the fear, to get rid of the guilt, because all these things were present. To understand how can I change my perception of myself, because I had a low perception of myself, or my what's the self-esteem was very low. But on the surface, it appears that I was free in the world, and but maybe I'm the only one that had that experience.
You might have been, but chances are you were not. Chances are you were not the only person.
But do you know, it was that condition that I found myself in that became the very thing that had me to move towards finding answers,
Yes. Yes.
finding myself,
Yes.
really trying to understand that could I actually really be comfortable in my own skin. That was my experience. And so it actually it became the fuel.
It was the answer to the question.
Yes.
That a great number of people have, which is, am I enough?
Right.
And yes, we all are.
Yes. And
that's not because of what we do, but it's because of who we are.
because of who we are, and that's what I did not know. I did not know who I am, who I was in that time period, in that season. I did not know who I was.
And when I speak of knowing who we are, I'm speaking of knowing who we are in oneness with Creator.
Yes, or knowing that, in which the quote we use addresses that tonight. You know, knowing that I was not just limited, my identity not just limited. You think it's here? No, I think it's still up here. Let's see here. It's not up there.
Nope.
Let's see here.
I put it over there.
Okay. Thinking that my identity was solely connected to my physical body, myself. I thought that who I really was just this body. And we're looking for one piece of paper.
It's not this, sweetheart. Nope.
We're looking for our quote. There it is. We're looking for our quote. And so for me, it was, but this is really what it was for me. I knew the limitation of my body. I knew the limitation of my physical self. And I also knew that this same body that was born, that eventually it would what? Expire.
But that so
So
doesn't that mean that what you were aware of was the conditioning of the limitation of your body?
I was right. And because I misapplied that as the essence of who I was, then that in and of itself created anxiety in me and fear in me.
So I'm going to put this quote up because this is very, very true. Sheila says, many live in self-imposed prisons of fear,
Self-loathing and ignorance. Right.
You know, I was, I had heard, I heard a conversation. I was having a conversation with someone, and what they were talking about was, and this happened a while ago, how they didn't want to go to the hospital, and then of course they passed. And I just, the thought for me was, how many people have died of fear?
Yes.
How many people have died just because they're afraid of, and when we were in the workshop, Dr. Jill had shared that there was a statistic that was printed that like 90% of the dread and the fearful, terrifying things that people, imagine are going to happen never even occur.
They never occur.
Never even occur.
So all this was going on in my mind, right?
Yeah.
And that's where all of us live, really, And so it was not until I came to understand, or my awareness was expanded, that my body identification is not who I am. It's just a temporary expression or experience that all of us are having here. That who I really am in my essence is timeless and formless. That I actually existed prior to being formed in my mother's womb. And so that's the I that I was not aware of.
That's in sacred scriptures.
And that's in sacred scriptures,
so
yes.
We heard that growing up, and some of us adhered to that, and I guess some of us didn't.
Right.
Some of us accepted that and were lived in a bit of an awareness of that,
right.
And then some of us didn't.
Right. And so our inspirational quote tonight says, freedom must be impossible as long as we perceive a body as ourselves. That's a very limiting idea. And so it says the body is limited, or the body is a limit, or it has limitation. That means that it has a birth date and it has a death date. So if that is the only concept that we have of ourselves, and holding that in mind, that is what causes the fear. That's what causes the lack of awareness, right? Yes. And we can't see past our body identification. And that can be that leads to a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety.
It's
And so it says, so it's impossible for us to really experience the freedom which we really are, because in that thinking, we're not aware of our infinite self. We're not aware that we are a part of that which has no beginning and has no end, and that the awareness and the consciousness that we all are experiencing is the same awareness and consciousness. It's not, even though we are individuals, it's not like we have this individual awareness or individual consciousness, but we have access to the one awareness and consciousness that we all share. It's called life.
yes.
And that life is eternal.
Yes.
That life has no beginning and has no end. Therefore, when we, like it says in our mantra, truly the real you loves you. So that means that there's a you that is not real. And that's what it's saying here, that the body, if it's just the body that we identify with, then it says that freedom is almost impossible to experience. It says, who would seek for freedom in a body looks for it where it cannot be found. So freedom is not the freedom of the body. It says the mind can be made free. And all this was happening where? In my mind. And so the mind is what needs really to be healed and not the body. And so it says the mind can be made free when it no longer sees itself as a body, firmly tied to it and sheltered by its presence. And so living a life of freedom, real unlimited freedom, it really comes down to the knowing of the self.
It does.
It really comes down to, like we say, the real you
Yes.
that loves you.
Now, when you said that there is a you that is not real, there's not multiple yous. There's not multiple us. There is the one.
Right. There's an idea about
there's an
ourselves
idea.
that is limited,
Yes.
and it's not true about who we are.
Yes.
And that's the idea where we just get stuck on the body, where we can only see or make we make all of our perceptions based on the limitation of the body.
Yes, yes.
But once we have this awareness and this awakening where we understand that the truth of who we are, being timeless and formless beings, then we understand that the body now becomes a healthy, serviceable instrument. Now we know what it's for. It's not for our identity, but it's for us to express who we really are. It becomes a healthy, serviceable instrument by which we now demonstrate the love that we share. We demonstrate the oneness that we share. We demonstrate all the infinite impossibilities that we have at our disposal, that we have access to all things. And it is that embracing that as our very own identity, that's what causes us now to experience the freedom that we so desire. So we don't look for freedom out there, but we realize that the freedom that is that which we desire is always present, and it actually comes from us. We don't go out. It's not out there for us to get, but it's a part of our nature.
That's right.
And so it comes with knowing. So without this expanded awareness, like Sheila said earlier, people live imprisoned lives because fear and self-loathing and ignorance, and it's because a lack of awareness. And that's why we share these truths here on Truly Live, because it is to expand the awareness of all humanity, our viewers. Is to expand the awareness, to expand our consciousness about who we are.
So it is freedom in our mind. It is the awareness of who we truly are that causes us to live in that place where we have that peace or freedom
Absolutely.
that passes all human understanding.
Right. And
That's another
right.
one
And so
of the sacred scriptures.
absolutely. So the body does not regulate freedom.
No.
That's why there can be a person locked up in solitude prison or
Solitary. Yeah.
solitary prison. There could be a person that is out in the wilds.
And we know this by experience because Nelson Mandela shared that.
Absolutely.
Yes. I mean, that's just one example.
Absolutely. And while he was in that prison for what, 28 years, 26 years, he became more aware of his freedom. Right, 20 something years, even though the body was confined to and limited to that place and that space, it was in that limitation that he discovered his true freedom. We talked about Viktor Frankl
Yes.
when he was in a concentration camp during the war, and how he made a decision that regardless of his external conditions, that he could still choose in that moment. But remember, we talked about in that space between stimulus and response, there's a space, and in that space, we have the freedom. What?
That's where our power.
That's
is.
where our power is,
That's
and
where
we have
the
freedom to choose.
We have the
Right.
power to choose.
Right.
Yes.
And so there have been many examples, or there's still many examples of people that may be in a situation or circumstance where their physical body is constricted or imprisoned, right? But their minds are free to choose. And the freedom to choose cannot be locked up. It cannot be taken away. And so that's why you can be in a restricted situation, but no one can take away your imagination.
That's right.
No one can take away your ability to perceive. No one can take away your intuition. No one can take away your memory, your reason,
Creativity.
your creativity. It can't be taken away. The body does not determine
Your will.
your will. The body does not determine our ability to be free, because freedom is really in the mind. It's not in the body. It's what we're really trying to say here. Body freedom. If you measure freedom by body, because there's people that are in what we would say high places in the world. There are people that are wealthy. There are people that have need for nothing. They have all the body provisions, but mentally and psychologically, there's no peace. There's no freedom. And so it's not legislated by body limitations. Why?
I'm so cold.
Oh,
I'm gonna get my jacket.
okay.
I can't take it anymore.
Okay, well, she's going to move for just a second, because she said it was hot, so I turned the air up. Now she's saying I'm freezing, so she's got to get a jacket. So while we're here at this point, please use the comment field to ask any question about anything that we've said, because we don't have all of the knowledge or information here, but we're just sharing with you based on what the information that we have. We're sharing with you based on our experience, because I'm not that same guy from 30, 40 years ago that was in prison in his own mind, like Sheila said. But I have experienced a level of freedom, and it keeps expanding ever since I've been on this journey of transformation. The more I expand my awareness and my knowledge of who I truly am, the real me, the more I discover the real Oliver,
Well,
is the more I experience and live this life of freedom.
and for you, it was understanding that you did not have to suffer. You know that was not
That was just enough. That was just an effect of
Yeah.
my thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, but I really got to the cause.
Yes.
See, and because we have become experts at trying to fix effects, and you can never fix effects. You have to fix the cause. You have to go to the root of the matter, and the cause is not the physical body,
That's right.
but the cause is in our minds, in the way we think, the way we see ourselves. It's in our self-image. It's in our, what we taught last week in the seminar. It's our paradigms, right? It's our habits, our habitual way of thinking about ourselves that's not correct, that keeps us from experiencing the freedom that we all desire.
Yes. Hello, Lisa, Renee,
Nelson.
Very happy that you
Yes.
joined us
Hello,
as well.
Renee. I know Renee. You know Renee. Yes. Thank you, Renee. And thank you for joining us tonight. So the chat's open. The comment field is open. If you have a question concerning anything that we've shared, or you like to share something, add to this conversation, please feel free to do. We wanted to make it somewhat of a two-way conversation, but I've gone off on a tangent like I always do. Why you didn't stop me?
There's no stopping you. You know that.
Yes.
All right.
So, how are we on time?
You're good.
Okay. So, are there any shares, any questions? Even if it's you don't agree with any of the things we say. I mean, this is an open conversation here. Right? We want to know. We want everyone to be able to walk away not being conflicted. All right.
Well. Okay. That's my girl. Hello, my sister as well. She said hello, my favorite sister and brother.
Hello, Pearl.
I'm putting her up. So she's like John Brooks.
Yes.
I kind of lose
That's
it.
between you. Yeah.
Hello, sister. I love you dearly.
Yeah. Now you see how she just lit up when she saw that Pearl is in this room with us. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna keep a picture of Pearl. I'm gonna keep a picture of Pearl and John Brooks in my pocket. And Sheila.
Sheila Blue.
And I'm gonna just use it like a flashcard.
You can do that. Because every time I think of them, it's nothing but
yes,
love and joy.
Yes, they touch that
peace. And
they touch that happy
happiness.
place in you,
Well,
don't they?
And it's because of the beautiful memories that we have.
All right, Sheila, go ahead, baby. You want to address that?
Let's we've got a question here. Let's put this one up. Sheila Johnson's asking. She said, "What is your opinion of therapy on the road to self-discovery?"
I think it's very helpful. I think it's but another way, any tool that helps someone or encourages someone to turn within and begin to look at what's going on in their mind, to become aware of how they're thinking, what they're thinking, and to be able to freely verbalize that or to share that for the purpose of wanting healing to come in whatever area that they're being challenged in, whatever area they feel that they are suffering or that something is holding them back. And generally it has to do with past experiences, right? Yes. And so therapy or therapists, it is a helpful field. And
therapy actually is beneficial in that it
helps identify.
It allows people to give voice to that which
right.
they have felt
right.
and not understood.
Right.
And the other part of that is that therapy can help people to look at it from a different perspective.
Absolutely. It opens up the conversation because I can remember, again, in that period of my life, I didn't talk to anybody about what was going on in my head. I was trying to mask it in so many different ways, and through activity that wasn't in my best interest.
And what happens is a lot of times, and we just recently heard of a situation where someone was actually struggling and was not communicating, and then began to repeat activities that they had seen in someone that they loved.
Yes.
And that's only because we do what we've seen. We do what we know. And this is why it is important for us to expand our knowledge.
Right. And so so it's one thing to identify the cause, but it's another thing to replace that which we identify with that which is true.
Yes.
So it has to go further than just identifying what seemed to be the root cause of our self-punishment, our self-suffering, our lack of understanding. So there has to be the self-sabotaging. So there has to be a replacement of those things with a higher level of thinking.
Yes.
What we call the truth. There has to be a level of truth about who we are to replace those things that were a block to our awareness, right?
That brings up another scripture for me where it says, "You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free."
Right.
And I understand that to mean that it is the truth that I know that I'm going to be walking in.
Right.
And so, if my truth is limited, then I'm walking in that limitation.
Right.
So, because it's what I know.
Right.
That I'm going to walk in. That's what I'm going to experience.
Right.
So this is why it is very important for us to expand our
Right.
awareness and to
Right.
Expand our
Right.
experience.
Right. Right. There has to be a spiritual aspect of any healing process if we're really going to get to the problem and really replace it with that which is truth, like Yolanda said. He said, "You shall know the truth." That knowing is an intimate word. You may become intimately acquainted with what is really the truth about who you are. And that's what he's talking about. Because it really, at the root of all of this is we have substituted an idea of ourselves
Oh yeah.
that is not who we are. We have substituted that. We've made up an idea about ourselves, which generally focuses on the body. And we have, by so doing, we are not aware of a more expanded view of who we really are as these infinite spiritual beings that we are. Okay.
Bob and Carol said, "Therapy is great for identifying and exploring and rising above paradigm."
Yes.
That's a very good way of,
Right.
Speaking of that, we during our workshop we spent quite a bit of time talking about paradigms and our self-image.
Yes. And those paradigms, which are basically habits that's running our life, that's really influencing our decision, which is, really where we get our self-image from. And we said in that workshop that we can't outperform, or we can't perceive beyond our paradigms. And so the part of therapy basically is what we're doing here. This show is, we consider this show very therapeutic. I
Okay.
do, because it's
Okay.
therapeutic for me, because at the root of it, we're here to bring an expanded awareness of who you are, of who we are. That's why we call it the real you, that unlimited self that we are, that self that is innocent, that self that is whole, that is complete, that self that is beyond time and space, that self that will always be aware and always be conscious.
Well, so Sheila, thank you for the question, and Carol, thank you so much for your comment. But yes, so a good therapist, there's something that you have to make certain that you research and get someone that is a fit for
you
and the type of direction that you need.
Absolutely.
Therapy can be good for helping us to develop new skill sets.
Absolutely.
Which is what
that's what I was saying earlier. When
people think that coaching is therapy, and it's not.
No.
Coaching is coaching, and there are all different sorts of things that's involved with therapy that we don't do in coaching. But yes, it can be very, very helpful.
Very helpful, very healing. And that's something that could have probably sped up my awareness, but hey,
you were closed to that.
I was close to it. Yes.
And
but I was not close to the fact that I knew something was wrong and something had to change.
And so,
it sent me on a journey, on a search.
That, you got to it in a different,
in a different way, right? And all of us evolve in different way. All our paths are so unique. So it's not that, it's going to happen to you this way, the same way it happened to another person. No, it's going to happen to you in the way that you allow it to happen to you. But all roads leads to our healing, our evolution, our awakening.
So I'm gonna put up two comments. One, I just didn't get to put this one up when she put it. She said, "I just love you all so much, girl. You know I have nothing but big, pure love for you." And then Dr. Jill said, she said, "I keep the workshop notes where I can see them often." It was some really good information.
Yes,
some really good
and
information.
you
And thank you, Dr. Jill.
Yes, and you mentioned that for our patrons, we're going to have more regular sessions,
Yeah.
and I've had so much feedback. We've gotten so much feedback from this last workshop that I don't want too much time to go by that we don't have that workshop for our patrons.
Well, and so what
And not a workshop, but a time for us to follow up and review, not to add more information. We got so much information in that 2 hours, but to really follow up with all the patrons and make sure that, they are, not only getting the information, but they are putting it, in a way that is helpful. And so we want to
Yes.
do that.
are applying it.
So
And
we-
so what we have concluded is that if we do the workshops more frequently with our patrons, then we will not have to make them so long,
Right.
because our thing is we want to give you all the information that we have, so that we can all live this expanded awareness and live our best life. So we try to give, we're going to give it all to you.
We're going to give you,
Um,
we get, as we expand, we share everything. We don't hold back anything.
So but if we do this more frequently, then we will, we'll know that we're going to have time to, to address other issues. But yeah, the workshop was incredibly,
Incredible. Yes.
it was a lot of information, a lot of very good
Yes.
information, practical
Pertaining to
information,
what? The mind
pertaining
that
to the
needs healing.
mind,
Right.
pertaining to our image, our self-image, because what we were seeing is that we're making decisions from those paradigms.
We're making decisions from a place where we're not even aware.
Yeah.
And so we need to open up the hood and get down
Yeah,
there.
because we can be aware, we can be focused, we can be intentional,
Yes.
and we can get the results that we want.
And we can live
So-
a life of freedom.
And as we said in the workshop, we're not talking about trying to get something. We're not talking about trying to manifest something. We're talking about removing the blocks to the awareness of what is already in us.
Which is
That's what we're
already
talking about.
right to
Yeah.
our own reality.
Yes.
Because once I discovered my true self, and I'm still discovering it, I am so happy and grateful for each and every moment. And that is what I think we all desire. Yes, we all desire to be our best self, to express who we are without any limitations. That's what true freedom is.
Oh wow! I'm gonna have to put this one up too, because this is another one of my favorite people. Bob and Carol said, "You two are such a blessing and true givers of yourselves and truth." Well, Bob and Carol, that is definitely true about you guys as well.
Yes.
We love the truly community.
Yes.
We love that we all stay on our growing edge, and that we are wanting to make certain that we are the best expressions
Yeah, which is a life of freedom.
of ourselves.
This is another way of saying it's a life of freedom
Yes.
when we allow those things that we have allowed to hold us back
Yes.
to be set free from those things. And it
Yes.
all starts in our thinking.
Yes.
When it shows up in the body, that's just showing us there's something wrong.
That's right.
Body only displays what's going on in our mind. So it is the mind that needs healed. Like it says here, only the mind can be free.
That's right.
The body can't be free. So,
Well,
that's our time. Thank you guys so much for your engagement, for your comments, your questions. This is kind of how we envision tonight to go to finish this series, because this is all about you and your growth. It's all about you getting different results in your life that makes you happy.
yes. And on
Doing the
next
thing that you
Thursday,
love.
we have a wonderful guest. That's
Do we
going to
have a
be
guest
with
next
us.
Thursday?
We have a guest next.
Who's our guest next
So
Thursday?
our guest is Laura Kubich. She is a judge in Greensboro, and she's going to be on sharing
All right.
her
Her
experience
story.
of how she saw a situation, she wanted it resolved, and she decided that she was going to be the one to do something about that. And so she set a plan in motion, and she is now experiencing, she's living that that plan. So she's going to be on with us next Thursday.
Yes, that is District Judge Laura Kubich, and we're
Yes.
excited to have her being in this space with us next Thursday. So you don't want to miss that. She has a story that can inspire all of us, and most importantly, she is a great human being.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna do this last comment that my friend, my dear friend, said. She said, "Thank you guys for this much needed topic. I too benefited from therapy, which helped me view my situation through another lens, which led to my healing."
All right.
And that is what is
Absolutely.
so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bob and Carol, you're going to thoroughly enjoy meeting Judge Laura.
Yes.
Coolidge.
Absolutely.
So yes.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining with us. We appreciate you all so much. We're so happy and grateful that you're here. We like to end all of our sessions by blessing you all. And what we do is we use the Dalai Lama's loving kindness meditation as a blessing. So we bless all of you who join with us and those that you hold near and dear in your heart.
So may you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
And may you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and good purpose. And I want to add one more. May you truly live a life of freedom.
Okay, so before that, that was the Dalai Lama. And Oliver and I add, may you live in the awareness of who you truly are. So that is, may you truly live in freedom. And we extend this blessing to every being that is on the planet.
Absolutely.
And so it is.
And so it is. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. And it was just the way we had imagined it and more. And so we continue our rendezvous for a outstanding weekend, and we just thank you guys so much. And also, we should put in a plug. We should put in a plug for tomorrow starts a 3-day. Tomorrow starts a 3-day spiritual conference that is a virtual conference, and it starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. and it goes on from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the conference, you can register for the conference, and it's free, and it has a dynamic group of over 25 dynamic spiritual teachers, spiritual leaders, gurus, mystical people, a variety of people that will be presenting at this conference that's being sponsored by Pure Presence Conferencing, right? And that starts tomorrow. And Yolanda and I are actually going to be working in that conference as host, and we'll actually have our own session on Saturday, right?
Yes.
So if you are interested in that conference, you can get the link off of my personal Facebook page. You can get the link off of my business, off of our Truly OB Facebook page, and I will also put the link to register for it in the chat. Well, not in the chat. I'll put it for the patrons. I'll put it as a post in Patreon, and I will also. Where else could we put it, baby? The link to register for that conference.
Let's just put it on the webpage.
We'll put it on
Oh, no. Oh,
on our
let's-
webpage.
We can't.
We can't do that. No.
So let's put it in the Truly OB web Facebook page.
Facebook page.
Twitter.
It's on. I'll put it on my Twitter page
And Instagram.
and Instagram, and but
And all of those are Truly OB.
yes, all of those. And you can, and if you want to reach out If that doesn't meet your way of connection, you can reach out to me via email at what's our email address?
OKBlues@trulyob.com.
OKBlues@trulyob.com. And the conference is free, but it requires you to register.
Let's see. It's end of seeking. I was trying to end. Let's see. Oh.
But I think they can go to purepresence.com. That's their website.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can go to purepresenceconferences.com to their website, and right there on their homepage is registration. But really, this another way for you to expand your awareness, expand your consciousness about, who you are, and gather even more information on to help all of us to heal and to walk in this freedom that we've been talking about for 4 weeks. So
It's already up there. All right.
it's already there. Did somebody put it in there?
That's me, sweetheart.
Okay, thank you so much. So anyway, we encourage you, if you have the time, to attend. And this goes from 8 in the morning to 8 at night with different speakers, and you may not,
And while the conference, there is no charge to register for the conference, but you will have to register.
But you have to register, yeah. So we strongly encourage it. Anyway, great speakers, and plus we're there. So, and we'll be there all weekend. We're actually working the conference as host and also have one session ourselves. So thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
And you're well over now.
And I'm well over, but hey, they're here with us. It means that, hey, it's beneficial.
No, it means.
And hello, Nikki Hall. There's
Oh,
Nikki
hi,
had come
Nikki.
in. Yes, you are our beautiful friend too, Nikki. And thank you so much. Nikki is one of our patrons.
It is.
All right. So with that said,
You can always go back to our YouTube channel, which is where you guys are looking at this, and you can see all of the episodes of Truly Live.
yes, absolutely.
All right, guys.
So I'm so glad we had this time together.
He's Oliver. I'm
And-
Yolanda.
And we are what?
We're the
We're the
OK
OK
Blues.
Blues. Bye-bye.
Me never letting me go. Now I know the love I needed was right here all along. I know that love to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to ignore all you can change. Love is enough to make up for the I know the love is enough. God's love is enough.